In today's session of Divorce Court, Deborah Farringer says her husband Foster took his job as a personal trainer too far.
My husband controlled everything I did. If we were going out, my hair, makeup, and clothes had to be a certain way. We were in a restaurant, and if I ordered the wrong thing, he'd walk out. I had to pay for diet pills to lose weight. I thought that this man loved me in spite of my body. He would not give me any affection or emotion at all. He had to do it exactly how he wanted to do it. He blew it.
Today, it's the case of Deborah Farringer versus Foster Lott in this session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a matter of Foster Lott III versus Deborah Farringer. Mrs. Farringer, I'm advised that after a year and a half of marriage, you're ready for it to end. I mean, in a year and a half, love is gone.
Well, after a year and a half of being controlled and manipulated, Your Honor, my husband controlled everything I did.
Like what? How do he control you?
If we were going out, my hair, makeup, and clothes had to be a certain way, often telling me I looked too old. And him being 9 years younger than me, this was a real problem for him. And being a little overweight was a real problem for him, too.
So when you married him, you weren't 9 years older?
Well,
Did that just happen?
He just felt that my hair and makeup had to be a certain way to make me look younger.
And did it make you look younger?
In his opinion, it did. But
what about in your opinion?
No, in my opinion, it didn't, Your Honor.
And so what, once you married him, you started wearing your hair different than you did when you met him?
No. No.
So he just wanted to play around with changing you?
Exactly. He had to form me into the image that he wanted me to be.
And then you said he didn't like your weight either?
No, he controlled everything I ate. He controlled everything I ate. If we were in a restaurant and he'd order, and if I ordered the wrong thing, he'd walk out, just leaving me standing there.
That's not really? So you had to eat what he wanted you to eat?
Yes. We went to a hamburger joint. He chose the hamburger joint, okay? And they had canola fried French fries. I said, oh, this is not a bad fact. I can get these. He walked out.
Because you wanted canola French fries?
Yeah.
That's not true. Right? That's not true.
So what is this obsession with what you eat? I mean, is it for health reasons? It could be good
for you.
Well,
it was just the way I looked. It wasn't the fact that I was eating wrong. It's just that I carry a lot of weight. Now,
so why was he attracted to you from the beginning then?
But I lost 40 pounds.
Oh, excuse me?
I lost 40 pounds since April of this year.
So you lost 40 pounds and he's still concerned about the way you look?
Yes. He had me convinced that I was still too fat. Since I've left him in November, I have gained all that weight back, plus a little more.
So it sounds like then that part of it was a good thing for you. At least it kept your weight under control. That's not all negative, is it?
Well, the way it went about doing it, it was negative because I didn't have, it wasn't for me. It was in fear.
So he didn't say, I'm concerned about your health, I'm concerned about you being overweight, I'm concerned about what you eat and your nutrition because I want you to live long so we can have 50 years together? You don't think that's what he was trying to do, give you a long life together?
If he would ever say things like that, maybe I could understood him and accepted them.
How did he say it?
You don't need to eat that. You're on a diet. You're allowed to have that food. That's what the doctor said.
You know you're over-exaggerating.
Well, wait a minute. Did the doctor say it?
Yeah, I was going to a medical doctor.
He said, did you have a health problem?
You're over-exaggerating.
No, it was a diet doctor.
No.
I had to pay for diet pills and take diet pills to lose weight.
At your husband's insistence?
Yes. At my expense, of course, because
you're over-exaggerating because
well, you tell me what's going on.
No, Your Honor. Basically, in my line of work,
What's your line of work?
I was a physical fitness trainer.
Physical fitness trainer?
Yeah, I was a trainer.
And did you meet her training her?
No.
Okay.
But
Your Honor, he was too busy.
I want to hear his version of, because I know he's probably not going to have the same interpretation in terms of your controlling ways.
Well, see, basically, our upbringing was kind of different. You know, my mother, she was a little bit more stricter. She always showed me how to be able to take care of myself, just in case I end up in the position that I am in now.
What does that mean?
Getting a divorce.
So your mother showed you how to take care of yourself in case you get a divorce?
She didn't want me to have to rely on a woman to do nothing for me. You know, as far as learning cleaning, cooking, everything. I did everything in the house. Deborah didn't have to do nothing but basically just sit.
We're not talking about, what about this control? She said her hair, her makeup, her weight, her diet, her food, nutrition.
Okay, well, see, in my line of work, you know, I also got a dietitian license. I like to eat a certain way just to be healthy. You know, it wasn't a control issue. I was just trying to show her how to eat healthy and in the process be able to control her weight. And she did lose weight.
So you were trying to help her?
Help her,
Your Honor,
you know, look good just like I was feeling good and looking good. We had a gym in the facility. I used to try to get her up in the morning because I got up at 4:30 every morning.
The gym where you lived?
Yeah, and I used to try to get her up and at least go walk. They had treadmills and everything up in there. If she walked, she would firm up. She would lose weight. And then the way that we was eating, the way that I was preparing the meals.
So you were cooking the meals?
Yeah, I would cook everything.
Nutritious meals?
Right. Good,
and you made her eat that?
I asked her to eat it.
And she didn't want to eat that?
She wanted, if it was left up to her, she would eat Haagen-Dazs and whatever else. You know
so
what I'm saying?
what happens if she wants to eat Haagen-Dazs and some greens and cornbread? What would you do about that?
Well, the greens and cornbread is good because, you know, I was raised in the South.
Because of the fat. I mean, because of the greens. So you would not allow her to if she wanted to?
No, I was trying to put her in, weigh her towards yogurt. Yogurt, frozen yogurt. I mean, you know, it's
so what, did you see her as a personal project when you married her?
No, I saw her as a loving, kind individual. You know, someone that I could respect and love.
So why did you want to change the way she looked or the way she ate or the way she acted?
I thought it would help build her confidence because her self-esteem was kind of low, you know, and I was just trying to help her feel better. Right, to where she could feel good about, you know, us being together as husband and wife. You know, I was proud, you know what I'm saying, to be with her. So I wanted her to have the same enthusiasm about the marriage or the beginning of the relationship that I had. I wanted her to feel good about it, you know.
So why you marry somebody that looked like you then, that was physically fit, and that went to the gym and worked out, and that walked on the treadmills, and that ate yogurt?
Because the inner qualities, you know, her inner qualities are good, which changed.
Oh, so her inner qualities were what when you met her? That was the attraction for you.
She was kind, loving, caring, religious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she just was a good-natured individual. She was a good-natured person.
And then what did she turn into?
A vindictive, chaotic tornado.
A tornado?
Yeah.
Wow, from a compassionate, caring, loving woman to a tornado. And what did she do?
She was trying to change me, too. She like, let your hair grow. I want your hair longer.
Oh, so she wanted long hair?
Yeah, she wanted long hair. I told her why she didn't marry somebody with long hair. You know what I mean?
And she said to you, why didn't you marry somebody thin?
No, because she was getting real thin, and she was, you know, I guess
because you knew you could make her thin.
Yeah.
And you could change the outer qualities as long as you had the inner qualities.
Right.
So you opted for that over the outer.
Yep.
Makes good sense to me, but then you should have left her out of the way she wanted it. If God gives us free will, why can't you give free will?
I do. I mean, Yanni, she over-exaggerates a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when she don't get her way, she go with the crocodile tears. You know, I'm surprised they haven't even started right now because
she's laughing. She thinks she finds you hilarious.
Yeah, but she will start crying, and just to try to get her way, she got this way of knowing how to just, you know, really make people feel sorry for her.
When divorce court returns, Deborah testifies about their sex life.
He would not give me any affection or emotion at all. All he wanted to do was turn me over and do it so he wouldn't look at me.
And Foster's infidelities are exposed.
He had 4 affairs. 4! He admitted 4!
Oh, please. Come on, Mr. Lott.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce court returns as Deborah testifies about Foster's controlling ways in the bedroom.
So why are you laughing, Mrs. Farringer? What's funny about it?
When I met him, I was running on the treadmill every morning. Every morning for an hour I stayed on that. Before I met him, Your Honor, I'd already lost 40 pounds. The other 40 pounds that I lost was through our marriage. But that was very controlled, and I regretted and I begrudged doing it because the way he made me do it.
Your computer stopped all that.
Wait a minute, Mrs. Farringer.
Your computer stopped all that.
Only came into our relationship at the end.
Mr. Lott. How do you say the way he made you do it? Now, I know thousands of women who spend thousands of dollars trying to get physically fit.
I had no choice.
I didn't make her leave.
But to eat chicken breast and rice every night for dinner. I had no choice.
And you wanted to eat something else?
Oh, something else, a variety. If I even thought about it, he would yell at me. And, you know, I mean, it was just, I didn't want to go through the terror and his rage of demanding that I eat a certain thing.
Mrs.
Farrington,
you
he cooked the meals, but that's not true. I would cook and prepare chicken breasts enough for a week ahead of time and boil enough rice ahead of time and kept that in the refrigerator. He prepared his meal by going and get it and heating it up in a microwave.
Well, let me ask you something.
Yeah, he controlled doing the dishes.
If you married a man physically fit as Mr. Lot is, and looking at his body, all right, and knowing that he's a physical fitness instructor, did you really think that you were going to be able to sit up in his house and eat anything you wanted to eat?
Well, I wasn't up in his house.
Well, your house together.
I thought that this man loved me in spite of the way I looked, because all my life I had that gorgeous, perfect body.
I did.
Oh, you had a gorgeous, perfect body all your life.
Okay. Well, hey, there's things that I've been through in my life, and at that point in my life, I was already on the down of taking that weight off when I met him.
And all he did was encourage you more, and that you didn't like that.
I liked it, and because I fell in love with him was because he loved me in spite of my body, not like the other men in my life that loved me only for my body.
Only because of your body.
Right. And that's why I thought he truly loved me. He took control and made me do it the way he wanted me to do it. It was just like every issue that we had, like our sexual problems that we had.
He controlled that too?
Yes.
How did he do that?
He would not give me any affection or emotion at all. He had to do it exactly how he wanted to do it.
So whatever you needed and wanted in terms of the sexual desires didn't count?
All he wanted to do was turn me over and do it so he wouldn't look at me. And I even asked him once, I said, what is it? Is it my weight? And he said, yes.
Oh, really? If you loved her and you made a selection for her inner qualities, which I think is the wisest thing to do, then why did you let her outer qualities become a bone of contention and a disagreement to cause the relationship to deteriorate? Absolutely makes no sense.
Because of the simple fact that we were working on, we had come to an agreement to work with these issues together. She's stubborn to
So why
a
did she
certain
have to change her hair? That has nothing to do with being physically fit. Now tell me that one.
If I like seeing that Deborah is one of those last minute type of women, she waits to the last minute to try to do everything.
Like what?
Prepare herself to leave the house. She had to get off the computer at the last minute to go try to do her hair.
Okay, so why she can't wear her hair the way she wants to? Okay, physically fit, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're worried about her health.
I didn't have a problem with the way that she wore her hair. I just wanted to make sure that she wore it neatly. You know what I'm saying?
But now when Mrs. Farringer told you to change your hairstyle, you had a problem with it. So why you think that you can control her hairstyle?
I wasn't trying to change her hairstyle. I was just trying to make sure that she had her hair.
Suppose she didn't want to wear it neat. Suppose she wanted to wear it all over her head. Why she can't wear it like that?
Well, she couldn't go with me.
There.
Why not?
There. Exactly.
Because, I mean, I feel like this here. That's my wife, okay? I love her.
So you wanted her to have a certain image?
Not just the image, it's just that if we're gonna go out together, would she complain that I never suggested that we go anywhere? At least try to make yourself presentable.
Come on, Mr. Lott. In a year's time, she hasn't changed that much.
No.
So you had a choice of selecting a woman that fit your image of presentable.
Right.
Completely.
But keep in mind, I didn't leave her. She left me.
Oh. So you would still be with her?
She left me. In the middle of the night, she took her computer and her clothes, opened the window up in the wintertime, and left me in the bed freezing. The only reason I woke up, I was freezing. It rained and everything. She left the window up and left me in a cold state. I mean, I was actually cold.
Raining.
Devastated and heartbroken. On the desk where her computer was a note.
It wasn't in the cold of the night, and it was in the middle of the night, yes. I went to his mother's house. That's where I went to.
And you took your computer and your clothes?
Yes. Because that's the only thing I could carry. That's the only thing I could carry. I left everything there. That particular day, this is when our separation first happened. My family had spent the week with us. He blew it. He started yelling and screaming at my niece and her daughter. And he said he was leaving. Then when he couldn't get a hold of his present affair, and he couldn't get a ride, he had
there's
four.
Another
he admitted
involved.
Four, Your Honor, 4 affairs.
Oh, please. Come on, Mr. Lott.
Your Honor, I don't mean to cut you off. But like I told you, she had got so obsessed with her computer, she didn't even have time for me. I'm at the gym training people, I'm meeting people. I'm not denying the fact that I did have because I admitted it to her, hoping to resolve the relationship, the marriage.
So it's the computer made you do it?
No, she just didn't have, no, I'm not saying that's the issue. She just didn't have time for me.
Excuse me,
She
Your
was
Honor.
So
too
because
busy.
she didn't have time for you, you had to find time with other women?
I'm not justifying that
So
issue.
why didn't you just simply divorce your wife then? So now that's why you left in the
But
middle of the
not only
night and
did
took
he
your
have
computer
those-
only. You didn't take anything else?
No, I didn't have time because I have a receipt here
And
of
did
the
you ever
furniture
go
that I
back
had
to
bought.
get your things?
He
She
dissolved
had-
it within 2 days. I had paid the rent up until
He
the
did
6th.
what?
He dissolved it. What he didn't
Dissolved
sell,
it?
what he didn't sell, he gave away, and what he couldn't give away, he left there. This is what he told me.
In 2 days?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what was that all about, Mr. Locke?
Okay.
I had
Your Honor,
paid the rent,
at
I had paid the rent up until the 6th. This was on the 2nd of December. And I paid the rent up until the 6th. And then he was, he had plenty enough time
So
to
in
pay
2
his
days,
rent.
he got rid of all the furniture and furnishings?
Yes.
I left it in an apartment because if I would have sold
So you
it,
left everything?
left everything. If
Why,
I-
you were going to Sally who had a house full of furniture or something?
Yeah.
No, I was just trying to just get my clothes and my paperwork and stuff that I
Mr.
need.
Lott, don't
Because-
play me for a fool.
I'm
Why
not-
you leave all that
I'm
furniture
not
and
trying to
furnishings in the
play-
house?
I'm not. She's over exaggerating about the furniture issue.
I'm just asking you, why would you leave it if you're moving on?
Because that's she
You had
claiming
some
it
other-
was
you
her.
didn't
So
need
I
it.
didn't want to have nothing else to do with no kind of ties left with her. Period.
So what you're saying is that you left.
She left
You
for
left
no-
the house and you left the furniture and furnishings.
I
Mr.
had no
Lott,
other
you're saying
choice.
that you left the house and you left the furniture
Yeah,
and furnishings.
because
He
I,
sold everything he could get his-
Do
every-
you have any proof that he sold it?
He told me, Your Honor, that he sold it.
Well, now
What he
he's
couldn't
saying
sell,
that he
gave
didn't sell
away.
it. Did you talk to the landlord to find out if, in fact, the landlord removed anything from the property?
The landlord said that there was nothing there. That's what the landlord told me, that there was nothing there.
When he left, there was nothing there.
That's what he said.
So in 4 days' time, everything was wiped out.
Well, what I asked, when I talked to him about it over the phone, he said that what he didn't sell, he gave away.
What kind of furniture and furnishings are we talking about? What's the price? What's the value? What is it?
I have a receipt right here. I got a copy of the receipt of the furniture
Let
I
me see.
bought, and it shows you that I bought it before we even got married.
Okay, what
this
was
is,
it worth?
$2,000.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
This court has to act on evidence. I don't believe for a moment that you left everything in that house.
And an update on the case of Tiffany Leon Diaz versus Antulio Leon Diaz.
My husband told me I never wanted to be with a white girl.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court returns as the judge prepares to rule on the property dispute between Deborah Ferringer and Foster Lott.
The problem is I don't have any evidence as to what happened with the furniture and furnishings. I understand that you were under stress and that you were upset, but this court has to act on evidence. If you can't prove and have evidence that he discarded the furniture and furnishings, I can't make him pay for it. If I had had a note from something from the landlord that said when he moved out of the apartment, it was there. I have to assume, Mr. Lott, because I'm not crazy though, and I've been here before, and I've heard these cases before. I don't believe for a moment that you left everything in that house. I don't believe that. You didn't take one TV.
Nothing. I even left the cable boxes, which I had a bill for, that was still
The problem
hooked
is,
up.
I don't believe it, but I don't have the evidence that he didn't do it. So unfortunately, I can't order him to pay you back for it because I don't have any evidence that he sold it. Do you have anybody that he sold anything to? Did anybody say,
Well,
yes,
I could
he
call
sold it to
Pawn
me?
Shop and ask them. They probably
Well, but that's what
remember.
you should have done before you got
I
here.
know.
Too late.
I didn't
I'm
know that
sorry,
was
I have to
evidence.
deny your request. Court's adjourned.
All rise.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Tiffany Leon Diaz versus Antulio Leon Diaz.
He took my bra and underwear, Your Honor.
What you gonna do with that?
What's he gonna do with it? What, is there something that I don't know about here?
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? To appear before a real judge on a new court show, call 877-777-0099. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Tiffany Leon Diaz said her husband Antulio's secret desire brought their marriage to an end.
My husband told me I never wanted to be with a white girl.
And when she kicked him out, she said she discovered yet another
He
secret.
took my bra and underwear, Your Honor.
What you gonna do with that?
What's he gonna do with it? What, is there something that I don't know about here?
Tiffany wanted Antulio to pay her $1,056 for their computer, The judge ordered the computer sold and the money divided equally. After leaving court, Tiffany says she had a streak of good luck and even got a raise at work. She's making plans to move in with her boyfriend Michael, and there is talk of marriage in the future.
I took more abuse than what any woman could have taken from a man, you know, and everything that he projected himself to be was only after I had put so much time and effort into him.
She left me. You see what I'm saying? I mean, she left me in the middle of the night, okay? I tried to contact her and tell her to come and pick up her belongings. She wasn't even trying to hear what I had to say.
He was nothing when I met him, and he's nothing there today, standing there spouting out lies.